usually find out. I don't
We'll
have.
see here in just a minute if that's Rudy. You know,
If you have a mod, you can click on. You can
Yeah.
click on the.
Hello, it is time to start the show. And I'm going to get started right after this.
that's the only way to start Corey Davis 49er Wednesday. Now my intro.
Yeah.
What's good, faithful? How's it going, Dave Corona? We got Gammon.
Doing good, man.
He's right there.
Oh, what's up, man?
We got John Jay way over there. Well, from the Bay Area, John Jay. From Corona City, they named the city after him, folks. We got David Corona.
Yes,
we got Sentinel right here. We got
Hello,
our man
thank you.
that's everyone best respect him because you're in the armed forces. You best respect that, folks. We got Gammon.
Salute.
Nice.
Luke.
Yeah, what's up, Josh? What's up, Sarah?
Yeah, it's
What up,
been
David?
a crazy week for me. And I was like,
Yeah, same here. Same here.
A whole bunch of podcasts. That's why I ended up being a few minutes late, folks. I'm sorry about that. I got to listen to my peoples, So, breaking news: Trent Williams is holding out.
Is he? When did this happen?
This happened today. The
Today.
news broke probably close to 4 hours ago.
You think this happened today? You think he was getting his cleats on, getting his feet taped up, and he's like, wait a minute, but now might be a good time to let my employers know. I don't really feel like we're rolling in today.
Well,
Might have to
it's
use one of
like-
my sick days that I've got kind of saved up.
You know what? Is that actually?
I have a theory
I'm
on
actually
that.
thinking this is Rudy here, folks. Like,
Yeah, it is, Rudy.
I'm thinking this is the real Rudy. Please stand
It's
up.
not. It's not his sports channel.
up, buddy?
It could be like a duplicate account, just so he can go around and
He
type.
has
But-
now he has a few people that do that, but I think that's the real Rudy because real Rudy would say, "Well, what's going? Hey, David, you're in the panel, buddy. What up, Don Dotson? What's going on? Now, if you can make it, I sent the link, but that's only if you can make it. I don't hold it against people if they can't come. We have Melissa rolling in from the East Coast. Well, no, it's not Melissa. It's Dawn. There she
Hi.
is.
Yeah.
I was just telling her that I sent her the link.
Hello.
Pterodome, buddy, if you feel like joining, it's in the Corey Davis Friday night group.
Hey, what's up, Pterodome?
Double
What
check.
up?
But what up, buddy? If you feel like joining, if you can join,
Mhm.
I know he's a first responder. So. Oh, and look, we got the most faithful of all faithful, Jim Everett the Great. He's another 49er chat.
And like always, he spells our names wrong.
Right.
Okay. we got Gavin. He's in the panel too. What's
Mhm.
going on? So, Gavin, what do you think about all this hoopla that's been going on Friday night? Let's start there.
Yeah, I wanted to just quickly mention. I think what I think Trent is doing is basically the same thing that Michael Strahan did in 2007. It's just he doesn't want to deal with any of the. He'd rather take the fine and just rest up his body for the season than, get into football shape. If that's just an opinion, theory, because I'm that age and stuff hurts a lot more when you get hit. You don't bounce back, like you did before 30. There's before 30
boy.
and after 30.
Look at this.
What up?
Full house if Melissa can come. That's if Melissa can come. She hasn't
Oh,
showed
what's
up
up,
yet.
Pterodome?
Hey, Pterodome.
How you doing,
What's
man?
up, my beautiful peoples? How y'all doing? Pterodome off tonight.
Finally, the governor gave me some reprieve. Amen. Amen. Kevin Brown out here, David Corona Sentinel. Hey Don, hey baby, how you doing, Don? Got the little kids out
Yes,
there.
that's Don
Paradise.
Dodson. Buddy. That's Don
David
Dodson.
Ned Niner, my peoples. I get excited when I see y'all, and forgive me for going a little garrulous in my benevolence, but I'm crazy about each and every one of y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me. Thanks, Dave, for having me on, man. Y'all go ahead and chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. The NFL pick show is going to be starting up during the season. Maybe we'll do it in preseason, but do preseason games really deserve a pick show? Let's be honest. I don't know. I don't think they do. But this season's pick show might be madness because it's going to be like, I currently only have 10 spots. I'm going to have to look into upgrading my stuff so I can maybe have even more people on because there's going to be a lot of people wanting on. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I don't know if Bryant's going to be able to make it due to his, new job and working. Shout out to Bryant Culp and Tony Culp. Tony just turned 29 like last week, folks. So, well,
He's got one more year before he's just crippling old. Because once you hit 30,
Tony Culp, Bryant's wife.
Yeah, Tony
Yes,
turned
Tony
29.
Culp. It was her birthday. Now I'm saying 29 because that's just how ladies are, That
Always
29. It's like.
So I know there's like a 15-second.
That's a real player there. That guy knows what to do. He's a seasoned vet, ladies and gentlemen. He looks at the third option on the triple option read. Dave, you got it.
Yeah, I know there's like a 15-second delay, so we can kind of go back, scrub that comment, and then we can kind of cut the tape manually and then get it back in there.
Right.
Repeat it through. Yeah.
Oh, Jim Everett.
No.
Here's a 49ers jersey.
No.
The Troll Patrol is
That's fact.
You have officially arrived when you got the Troll Patrol in here.
Yeah.
Hey, get Jimmy G to throw you some touchdown passes.
He really does spell people's names wrong, like
I know.
like that. There's no H, buddy.
It's Jon.
Right.
Actually, I think that was direct.
Let me spell it out for you, Jim Everett. JON.J.
So anyway, so Gammon, buddy, like I don't think I've heard from you since a lot of stuff has happened with Brandon Ayuk, and the big stink that he's making. So, but what do you think about all this?
Not surprised about anything that's going on whatsoever. This happens to a lot of great franchises. The rumors that I heard from a couple of my sources was that when Brandon Ayuk initially went in there, that the talks did not go well. Negotiations were disastrous. But I was also hearing some rumors that they were about to be on the cusp and some numbers were already agreed upon. The contract was almost a done deal. So I knew there was one or the other. But also, too, the news that got leaked out immediately following when Brandon Ayuk was done with having that face-to-face with the 49ers brass was that everything was kosher, it was good, it was copacetic. By Oz were saying they were happy. So I didn't hear anything from Brandon Ayuk camp. It was extremely loud this offseason. From family members to himself, you know what I mean? Who knows what? But I do say this: him showing up, think he's going to hold in, I think is an absolute terrific sign. And so I'm not too worried about it overall. I think it's look, even the Bulls during their three-peat were dealing with it with Scottie Pippen doing his hold in. This is just I hate to say it and or love to say it, one of the two, but good teams kind of face this. We all know that they can stitch this together if they want to. They can figure out a way to keep this band together for the next season, 12 months. But then all the other teams are going to be circling around us like buzzards and going like, well, you guys got to offload this dead weight. Right? We saw the Rams do it with Jalen Ramsey and so on and so forth. What is it going to take? Do you give up Kittle? Do you give up, Debo? Like whatever. And you're doing it for salary cap relief. So that way you're not in the luxury tax hold. So they have to figure out what they want to do.
Yep. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the chat. Everyone go check him out. He does a lot of shorts.
What up, Daniel?
I think he was just live.
Daniel's one of the.
What's up, Daniel?
And we got Tommy Huxley pulling up. What's up? What's up, buddy? What's going on?
On the
What up,
guitar.
Tommy?
Let me play bass.
But yeah, I think right now it's an interesting time for us. If you think about it, like if they structure Brock Purdy's contract correctly between this season and next season, they could possibly keep the band together for 2 to 3 more seasons. But then it'll hit a point where it's time to pay the piper. And that's something I'm not looking forward to, but every team goes through it.
Well, I hate to say it. I don't think that this is a team that you want to keep together for 3 seasons, let alone 2. And look, Mother Nature, Mother Time, right?
So
wins. It will win above all. It was sad to see when it finally struck Kobe Bryant. It was sad to see when it hit Michael Jordan with the Lakers. It was sad to see when it hit Scottie Pippen when he was on the Portland Trail Blazers. It was sad to see when it hit Charles Barkley when he was on the Houston Rockets. But Mother Time comes for us all. This team is they're hampered with a lot of injuries. When you look at Javon Hargrave last season, you look at the way he was popping off the line when we first got him. Like it was almost like as soon as the ball was snapped, there were so many plays where he was already in the back line. But then you started, by the time we're playing all these long seasons, all this tread on this tire, these guys have got these ligament tears within their joints of their fingers. Like I remember ESPN, The Body Issue, when it showed me Megatron's hands, or when I'd look at Deion Sanders' feet. Deion Sanders' feet, he ran a 4.2 when he came into the league, but you look at his feet and probably the way that he was when he played for the Baltimore Ravens, and they were twisted up like a pretzel. I don't think his feet would have allowed him to run that 4.2. Patrick Willis, who's about to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, had to retire because of his feet. We're not actually seeing how these guys are literally taped up. Their body parts are I think this team has what it takes to get through 21 games for a Super Bowl. But I don't think this is a team where you say for 3 years, you play 20 games, 40 games, 60 games. This team doesn't have that kind of endurance physically to get through that. So I think this is a team where they're going to have to do whatever they can and then package and sell some of these loose parts at the end of the next season. It sucks to say, but when you're in an entertainment industry, that is what you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to trade your Emmitt Smith to the Arizona Cardinals to try and get some pieces back to reload your championship roster.
Yeah.
For the course.
I sent it. Okay. Maybe she can't make it. Melissa ain't here yet. I was making sure I sent the link because I did that this morning while I was getting ready for work and everything. I forgot to send it to a couple people.
It's all good.
I got to remember, like, Sunday, set a timer, just set everything up for the week and send it out then. And That's it.
hard.
Right? It's done.
It's hard, Dave. Sometimes you forget, leave people off, and you're scrambling live. And hey, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, we got Wolf. Wolf's in the house.
Yo.
Buddies,
Wolf.
kind of got me into this.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
That's
I still have the
big fish.
the hat that says, what is it, Wolfgang Ninercast? That's right. I still got that hat.
Sweet.
But so Trent Williams holding in. Well, holding out. Actually, he didn't even show up.
Oh, he got that paper. He can do that.
I saw that.
And his contract is kind of divided. It's like a 3-year contract with 3 additional years. I don't actually know who has the option at this point, though. I don't know if it's the team or if it's just the team, if it's just him. It might be a mutual thing, but it's like, Penny Sewell just got paid $28 million a season. So this is probably about what Trent Williams is looking for. $28 million, like me and Ted were talking earlier. $28 million, 10,000, or $28 million and 2 cents. Who he just wants to be the highest paid guy, right?
Should be.
So, and I wouldn't mind him being on the squad for a few more seasons, but it's kind of like, if we extend him and give him what he wants, do we have to sign him to a 4-year deal? Do we, because he is 36. He just turned 36, I think the 20, was it? Not the 19th. The 19th. He just turned 36. So, and that's when, that's about the time where Joe Staley decided to hang up the cleats, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
go ahead.
I would like to kind of throw what you're about to say up to Terradome. I am personally of the opinion, if the Silverback gets what the Silverback wants, I don't think we have much of a choice. And these athletes are now Staley. Again, I'm talking about how these guys were bandaged up, duct tape. We're not seeing, the body issue. I think Trent is in a lot better physical state and condition than Staley. But I don't want to take too much air away from Terradome. But curious to see what Terradome has to say about that.
We got Melissa joining us.
There she is.
Hi.
Hey, Miss Melissa, how you doing?
I got Wi-Fi issues again. I had to reboot my modem about 5 times for it to finally connect. So sorry I'm late.
Just go to Starbucks.
Right.
It's that East Coast. It's that East Coast bias Wi-Fi.
That East Coast bias Wi-Fi. That's what it always was. Wi-Fi.
No, do you know what the funny part is? Last week I came on here with mobile data, right? And I kid you not, it started right before the show started, like at 9:50 at night here on the East Coast. I didn't get my Wi-Fi back for 13 plus hours.
Dang.
Oh, man.
13 plus hours. It was like almost 11 in the morning the next day when we finally got Wi-Fi back.
That's a whole lunch.
It's so crazy. And ever since the thunderstorm, that's what it's been like. It's been like weird shit all week. Like it's like having like aftershocks or something.
Thunderstorms on the east, boy. They're a little different. And speaking of on the east, man, Trent Williams. Hey, man, I gotta be honest to a man. Hey, Silverback is one of one, man. He's a generational talent. I heard Ryan Clark say of the athletes he's played with the Redskins and the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's played with Talanoa Hufanga, AB. He's played with a lot of people. The late, great Sean Taylor from the U. He said the best athlete I ever played with was Trent Williams. And that was saying a lot. My cousin Ellison, who is a diehard Washington Redskin / Commander / ball club, whatever it is. He said, man, My favorite player is Trent Williams. Hey man, you only get a few of those. He's ranked number 4 this year as the top 10 players in the National Football League at offensive tackle. This guy is in the top 4, not a quarterback, not a receiver, not a running back, not a linebacker, not a safety, not a corner. This dude is the 4th as the best in the business. And
Wait,
he
Teardo.
is, man. You move it around and you get Trent what he needs. If we didn't have Trent Williams, if the miracle is 2 miracles Kyle need to be very, very thankful for. Getting Trent Williams because Kansas City was on the hook and they were going to get him. And lucking up and getting pick number 262 in the 2022 NFL draft, Brock Purdy. Man, where are we at? Where are we at?
Wait, Teardo, top 4 on what list?
That new list that came out, the top 10 players, 4 of them are 49ers. They got
I saw that
Christian
today.
McCaffrey, they got Warner, they got Trent, they got somebody else. I just had it on my show. Hey man, we're loaded, but for an offensive tackle to be even near that, an offensive left tackle to be in the league, one of the best, and still at 36 years old, if the man say, and he has been on record saying, I'm going to play until I'm 40. Hey, man, get Trent Williams what he need, restructure it, get him his guaranteed money, do what you got to do. The bus ain't leaving without the silverback. We're the 24th ranked offensive line in the National Football League and have the best offensive tackle since either Anthony Munoz or Jackie Slater. And this is going back to my time. We going way back in the time. This dude is something different, man.
Now,
roll his highlights out. That's all I ask.
Teardome. Let me attempt, because I can't, but let me attempt to be difficult just so that way I can paint this picture a little more clear for people out there. You know, we're advocating for yourself, knowing your worth, especially more so knowing the situation that the 49ers are in. So let me go ahead and then I'm going to try and do devil's advocate. I'm not going to be able to, but this is how bad of a situation, what a bad way the 49ers are in, right? Now, we've seen them reach for draft picks for running backs, right, in the 3rd round. None of them panned out. And then we've seen them not draft linemen at all, and that hasn't really worked out. But let me go ahead and say this. We've got 2 guys who are really looking for contracts. We've got Trent Williams. We've got Brandon Ayuk. If we do not sign Brandon Ayuk, where his touches, right, the things that he does on the field, right, his targets, his touches, how do you see that his blocking? How do you see that being spread around the field? Okay, now I know that's tough. That's tough. That's a lot. That's a lot to do if we don't have Brandon Ayuk, right? We just drafted.
We need both.
We just drafted Ricky Pearsall
with the hamstring,
right? Yeah. But now I want you to go ahead and say this. Now let's say we don't have Trent Williams.
Put Kittle in.
Hold on. So Kittle's our new left tackle. So we don't have Trent Williams because we need Kittle to be our right tackle. But again, I see what you're saying, Sentinel football. Again, this is where I'm trying to go to, Terradome. We don't have Trent Williams. How do we spread? Who we didn't draft a number like a 1st round lineman, but we did for Ayuk. I'm not saying that guy can do. Ricky Pearsall can come in, but where is it on this roster for Trent Williams?
You can't get it.
Tell me.
There's no way. It ain't coming back. You can't get it. You can't get it. You're not getting that. It's not happening. On the show, everybody knows I have a saying. Jerry Rice is not walking through that door. Ronnie Lott is not walking through that door. Bill Walsh is not walking through that door. You got to do it with what you got here. And you're not getting another Trent Williams. You're not getting that. You're not getting that until next generation. That only comes around once in a generation. You got to have the silverback. On the broadcast receiver on Netflix, they highlighted the fact that Debo got hurt for 2 or 3 games, and we went on that 3-game slide with Cleveland, Minnesota, as well as Cincinnati. And they said, "Wow, man, look how much Debo matters." Debo. No, the power behind the throne was Trent Williams was out.
Yeah,
Trent Williams was hurt in those 3 games, and that's a nice little fancy trick y'all did, Netflix. Love you guys, but when that Trent Williams is not there, and you need both. I don't want to marginalize, besmirch, or bemoan anything, but there are 2 players that lead us out every game with the boombox. Look who's up front. It's 2 guys. It's 19 and it's 71. And when that 71 ain't there, boy, you go from a 24th rank by PFF to what? The greatest left tackle since Anthony Munoz. You take him out. What is your offensive line really?
Oh man.
Just saying. I see Melissa with her hand up. Go ahead, Melissa. Not to hijack the program there.
No, you know how I could just sit back and listen to you talk for 4 hours and not be bored. So that's not an issue.
You guys are trying to
24 hours and not be bored.
That's true. But I was trying to cut it down a little bit, just not to be like a super fan, but I am. No, but here's the thing though. With Trent Williams, it's not going to be talked about because it's not sexy. And right now, the sexy thing is the offensive weapons, specifically the receiver. And now with all this press about Brandon Ayuk and now Debo being featured on receiver, that's going to be brought up more often, that it's not Brock Purdy who's doing anything special. It's his weapons that are bailing him out. And no offense to Trent Williams, because this isn't an offense to offensive linemen at all, but that doesn't sell to the networks. Like they don't talk about offensive linemen unless you're a really bad offensive lineman. And then it's just like, oh, how can Patrick Mahomes stay alive behind these guys? Like they're going to get him killed. The generational quarterback. It's never a good thing. And that's why my brother and I fight about this. Like he hates the top 100 players list. He like makes fun of it. He says, why are you so invested in it? Because I think it's a lot of it is biased, and I got really mad when I found out that Aaron Rodgers was on the list this year, which is a whole nother thing. But the last 2 years, and I don't know if people recognize this, Trent Williams has been at number 14 for the last 2 years. That is the highest that any offensive lineman has ever been on that list, and he has done it in consecutive years, coming off injuries, coming off his cancer diagnosis, coming off everything that he's been through in his life, and he's still inspiring every generation of tackles, guards, and centers, and everybody else to come out. And
had cancer. Sorry to interrupt you, Mike.
Yeah,
that's why he left DC.
And that's what is so inspirational about him, because the fans always say, oh, well, we whiffed and we could have had Tristan Wirfs, or we could have this guy or this guy. Like, Terradome knows this because he's on everybody's channel. We've heard these things for years. And when you hear Andrew Thomas and Tristan Wirfs and everyone saying that my top guy, and it's not just because they're offensive linemen, but their top guy is Trent Williams, not a quarterback, not some defensive player, not some big whatever. And they're saying that this guy is so sensational at the age that he is, and just how he is as an athlete, as a human being. And he's that big and he's that light on his feet and he plays. I mean, you literally have to drag him off the field with an injury to make him not play. And he even called himself out. He said, maybe I shouldn't have played in those wild card and divisional games when he was injured, I think in the 2021 postseason. against the Rams, the Cowboys, and such when he was dealing with his injuries. But the fact that this man gave up what a lot of people said was a sure thing with the Kansas City Chiefs after they beat us in the first Super Bowl, and going to Kansas City and chasing rings and everything else. And he came back here and he stayed here. And now he still wants to be here. Like, I don't understand how people can fight for a Kyle Juszczyk or a receiver or any other big glitz and glamour weapon of offense or defense. Like, he invites all these athletes to come with him and live in Texas with him at his house personally to train them up. And only 2 people have ever taken him up on that. He has been a leader. He has been the backbone. He kept this team alive in 2020 with his spirit and his tenacity and his love of the game and life and his appreciation for both and to keep people strong. He was leading the defense when there's nobody on defense that's stepped up. And I am a huge Joe Staley fan. I will always love Joe Staley. Joe Staley will always have a special heart in my heart. But the fact that we were blessed with Trent Williams right afterwards. Like, my brother fights me on this all the time. He goes, I've been lucky because I've had 30 years of quarterback blessings. Like, he went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
I think the Niners are so much luckier to have gone from Joe Staley to Trent Williams.
Yeah.
And to have 2 such inspiring, beautiful human beings who bring so much on the field and in all aspects of life. And I want to see him stay here. I think he's been sensational for Aaron Banks. I think he has been beyond sensational. And Teardome, I swear to you, this is still one of my favorite plays from last year. Remember the Jaguars game? We were coming off the bye, and everyone said the Niners were dead in the water, remember? And he scared a DB so damn much, the DB actually ran away from Trent. And Trent checked it up into another gear, chased him down, and still pushed him out of bounds. He's like, you're not running away from me. I am a silverback, and this is my domain, and you will not be spared. Like,
what it is,
these
Melissa,
kind of guys are so special.
Is this the time when Debo was getting the ball and he was behind? Oh, go ahead.
I think it was Christian, but it could have been Debo.
Afraid of what the 20,000-foot view of football is, as according to fantasy football and you know, Taylor Swift fans and
PFF.
And real football is going to be dug out in the trenches. Real football was made to be something down in the trenches with big guys, tough guys, imposing your will on another human being, making plays on that side and preventing plays on it. The offensive line is like your secret service. And I don't mean to make light of what happened to President elect, or not president elect, but presidential candidate,
former President
Trump. But that secret service, they only talk about you and get you on Congress and stuff when something crazy happened. That's how I learned who the director of the Secret Service is. Offensive line has to be like that. They are there. You can't miss, dude. You can't. I'm talking about a profession that I'm in emergency services. I can't miss. I can't miss a day. I can't miss and not get the right location. I can't miss and misdiagnose somebody. That's how offensive line is, and they will only talk about you when something has gone wrong. Number 56, we got Holden on 56 here. Apparently he doesn't know the rules. 56, and that's when they mention your name. But as long as Mahomes is throwing the touchdowns, Debo's catching, Justin Jefferson's making the huge grab, Christian McCaffrey's running for 150. That's all they talk. You know, everybody's all good. It's like, but that offensive line better be well equipped and better carry your team and better finish games and better be dominant. If it is not, man, you ain't hitting no nothing. You can have Usain Bolt out wide. You can have Tariq Williams on the other side, or Tariq Hill on the other side. You can have Walter Payton in the backfield, backed up by a daggone Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders. But if that offensive line ain't clicking,
All that.
You know
All
what the
that, yeah.
shocking thing is though, Terradome? How many offensive linemen and D linemen are on these broadcasts, like these national broadcasts? And I think the only one in my experience that actually gives them any praise every week is Jeff Saturday. When he does his pancakes, and that's the only time you really see offensive linemen get any do every week.
Great observation. I gotta agree.
I want to make another great observation, and I don't want to call out Kenny 49ers because we're all fans here, but he says one of the comments he said is this team doesn't become 5-12 because Trent leaves, and I'm going to say, you know what? Facts, because we don't play every single team that we play on this schedule is going to be a playoff team. You're right. We're not going to be a 5-12 team if Trent Williams leaves. But I do want to say where we're going to have problems is kind of like what my man Terradome was saying. When all of a sudden, now we're in the playoffs. It's raining, right? We're in the December, January, February months. The fields are sloppy, ice cold, and you gotta have a run. Last season, and you can look at any statistical website that you want to, Kenny 49ers, but I'm going to let you have a guess. I'm gonna let the whole panel have a guess. Hold up if your right arm if you think the biggest runs and plays came from the right side of the offensive line, from our right tackle, or hold up your left arm if you think our biggest runs and plays came from the left side of the tackle. Now, I do like this other thing that you said, Kenny, was that you said
I'm holding my right.
he's a human man, and then he's flawed. I would say that you're right. You brought up some of the penalties that he had in the Super Bowl. You know what? I really wish that our main man, Christian McCaffrey, didn't fumble that ball in the Super Bowl. I really wish that George Kittle would have kept blocking his man downfield, so that way then they didn't have a chance to recover said fumble. They're all flawed. They're all human. But again, when you look at statistically where our biggest explosive offensive plays come from, is it from the left or is it from the right? You've got a 50-50 chance of being right, but I'm gonna let you decide that one, Kenny.
There it is, bro. That's why I was so put off the last two drafts. And I'm sorry, Dave, real quick. That's why I was put off the last two drafts. We need balance. Everything in nature has balance. For every balance, there's a counterbalance. For every structure, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You need balance in life, and we've been overloading on one side. That's why those great defensive coordinators and teams and those personnel can look and say all their success is coming when they run behind number 71, especially when you throw 85 over there too. They're gonna 70% of their stuff is going to my right, your left, thusly creating the squared away effect. We already know where that's going. I've been advocating and standing on the desk, stomping like the little kid in the meme when he was singing, when he was with the Timberland boots. Please get a right offensive tackle to balance this a little bit. It's like having a 747 wing on one side and a daggone paper airplane wing on it. Please, as a defensive guy,
I've been saying for years that
and I can see it here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I said, if I'm a linebacker, I'm saying I'm worried about going over there, and we can overload, we can shift a little bit, we can do the spill, we can go 4-2-5, and we can attack on that right side to my right, their left, and we can go there as far as the running game is concerned. That's where they're going. They ain't going over here to McGlinchey or McKivitz. And another thing, one last thing, Trent Williams makes players better. I dare venture to say that Aaron Banks is not as good as we think, because we had this social experiment prior to this with a guy named Laken Tomlinson. Laken Tomlinson was tearing it up and went to New York and got paid. But when you ain't got 71 by your side, brother, hey, look a little different now, huh? Look, all of a sudden you a little exposed.
We can replace Trent Williams. I mean, there's guys like McKivitz just hanging off of every tree. We can just grab that, tuck it in, plug it in, replaceable.
Oh man,
whatever, like a Lego piece.
Okay, wait.
You guys are scared. We can
for-
replace Trent Williams.
Let me
I
take the
legit
bait.
wanted
I'm
to-
not going to talk
Jalen
bad
Ward
about
can do it.
McKivitz
Never
tonight.
Just one man.
Well, devil's advocate.
I'm not going to say it.
And another
Hey.
thing, how long Trent Williams been on the team? 3 years. And
He's been here since 2020.
how much money?
What?
How much money does he want? Just give it to him. He only let one sack, and all those 3 years he been on the team. One sack. That's it. Just give him the money. What he wants.
So I'm gonna pause the conversation for a second. You guys
Go
say
ahead,
hi
brother.
to Villa. That's David Villa, not Villa, folks. Villa. That's how you pronounce it.
Villa,
Villa.
like Bob Villa.
And we got Tommy Huxley in the house.
Tommy Huxley.
Man, he got I think Tommy's rocking a Stratocaster there, man. I mess with that Stratocaster a little bit. I can't play lead guitar, man. I'm a bass guy.
Pterodome, look.
I tried to get it, man, cause I like that old Tony. Oh, look, she's got the residency shining like you Rob Liberace. I see you.
Where'd you get that at?
Okay, the funniest part was I didn't even expect to get this hat. I just, Miss Debbie does so much for Breezy and Crystal and Mose and Fair with the Facebook page and everything. So every once in a while, because I really hate Facebook because my family's on there and that's a whole other story.
Feel you there. Yep.
I go on there and sometimes I leave score predictions, right? Just to give them some activity and to get it circulated and stuff. And so I was really excited because the championship game, it was the first time I was ever going to watch the game in person with like an actual Niner fan, like with faithful. Like that's a huge thing for me. So I got really excited and I don't know if it was that or the Packer game or one of them. I wrote the score prediction, and supposedly I was the closest one.
Oh, okay.
So, and then my birthday was like a month later, or like a little bit longer than a month later. And so Miss Debbie sent me this really cool pullover hoodie and the hat, and it's like a birthday / prediction correction thing. So
right on.
Miss Debbie, she's so benevolent and so sweet and carries it with an air of a princess walking through. If you ever roll with Miss Debbie in a game, it's like rolling with the queen.
Do you know what
the 9-1 today on Mariah's channel?
She's
Teardome. The funniest thing though was back when they were a big deal. I used to listen to the Fourth and Goal podcast with Javi and his different partners when they were live all the time, and they would always do this one raffle like almost every week. I think it was on a Wednesday, and they would raffle off these residency hats, and that's how I kind of fell in love with them. And then John Chapman has his beautiful collection and stuff, and so I would post it to my Twitter, right? And I never won. Like I got everybody else to win of me sharing the post, and Paul Hope got his, and everybody else got theirs, and I was so happy for them. And she sent me this hat. Like I've worn it to death. There's like a rim on the inside now, but like it's my like go-to hat now. It's just the things are special because of who they come from.
Yeah, shout out, man. It is the giver of the gift just is immense. Hey, sweet. Sup, Cleveland special. Was
but
that Spongy in here?
Yeah,
Yeah, Spongy's right here. He's on the bottom.
No,
Oh, I saw a little
he's
Spongy.
Cleveland Indians fan.
What's
No.
up?
Spongy, where you at? Are you at summer camp? You're like on meatballs.
He's on vacation. He's in Cleveland.
Oh, Spongy.
Cleveland.
Well, to
Oh
answer
my
the
God.
question about running left or right, where's
Right.
George Kittle at? Because
He's-
typically the side of the line he's on is where we're breaking off a run.
Kittle is the dude. Kittle is the dude, man. Shout out to him and his dad. Did y'all see Receiver? I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, man.
I haven't been able to watch the Receiver because I don't have Netflix.
No, I don't have Netflix either.
His
Okay.
dad is an offensive line coach, and he writes him a letter every week before the game, and they're just some
They've
of the
been
most.
covering that since 2019, though, Terradome. That was the big thing.
But
You
you,
remember
get to, but you get to see and hear the letters as read by him.
No,
and
that's
his
cool.
dad.
Okay,
It's
that's
just-
cool.
And
But-
there, man, he's exuding some energy into him.
And I remember the
He's
first
talking to
time.
his spirit. And man, as a dad myself, as a lover of the game, as a steward of this game that we call football, it just warmed my heart to see him and his wife and his whole family support system, man. You see why he's the special
Person he
guy
is,
that he
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's real in depth. Y'all get a chance, please sit down and watch particularly episodes 7
Yeah.
and 8 and 9. It gets hard on those later ones because
When's the
we're
Devontae
gonna lose the
Smith and
Super
AJ
Bowl.
Brown
But
episode? They deserve an episode.
You know what the funny
who
part was,
deserves an
though?
episode? Who did you say deserves an episode?
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith combined.
He's an Eagles
Oh, okay,
fan.
Spongy.
Oh
So
yeah,
they were
Um,
filming
Philadelphia
this
got-
Receiver
Anyway.
during the season. They were
They're
filming
going
it
to be in
last
the
year.
next Netflix special called Trash.
Next
No,
year.
Yeah.
Terradome.
The Warsaw, the
you're-
Warsaw players, right, Terradome?
You remember when that first came out, though? Was 2019. It was for 2 different games. It was first it was the first National Tight Ends Day, so he was like big and featured because that was like a big thing that we're launching Tight Ends Day. And then the second time was when he came off injury in Week 12 to face the Packers. Then we're on Sunday Night Football,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the first time you saw the letters and him talking about Bruce and their relationship and how Bruce was like, "I don't have to still do this," and George is like, "No, I want this every day week." And he couldn't send the email because they used to actually send real letters, but then the one week it didn't come in, so he sent him an email. And I love that the fact that they share that they featured his grandma last year getting her 101st birthday.
Yeah, that was cool.
No.
Like,
She took it over. She's the star of the whole Netflix. Lucky. Her grandma named Lucky. She turns 100. She
Right?
took
She
the
rocked
show
that out there.
over. She's what
and
she
you
needs. That's the lady.
the
Episode-
unsung thing about George is that he's kept every lesson that he's ever learned from anybody that's ever been part of this team. From Pierre Garcon in his rookie year, down to Uncle Sherm, down to everybody. He's kept every lesson, and not only does he remember, and he constantly makes sure to give praise for everything that people praise him for, because he tells them where he got it from and where he learned it from. But then he also makes sure that not only does he look out for the next generation, so like when Jawan Jennings had his big touchdown against Philly in 2021 or whatever, that he actually teaches the next generation to keep all those traditions alive.
It is true.
And that's really
That's
something
legacy.
that nobody really gives him credit for. They talk about how he's not Kelsey, he's not this, he's not that, but
I think podcast backstage, McNair.
we've really been blessed for
I-
George and Trent.
I'm
man.
gonna say this one thing real quick, and I got another podcast to hop
Going
on.
on?
But if
Girls?
you're if you're looking at if you're looking for like statistical data,
Don't jump on the bed.
there's
Just sit down.
PFF, but PFF isn't the only one where you can find
They
statistical
see me
data.
and said, hey.
But you're going to look for, if you're looking for like explosive plays or charting or statistical data, right? You can't just type it into like a search bar, but you have to like click on the tools, or you have to go to like the actual like team page that they have there. And then what you're going to want to do is they'll have things like broken down from offensive line efficiency, tight end efficiency, run blocking grades, like everything. And then also too, they'll chart like pass grades. They'll even show a chart like from Brock Purdy. Hey, behind the line of scrimmage on the left, behind the line of scrimmage right, behind the line of scrimmage middle, to 5-yard passes, shallow, left, mid, right, or intermediate, and then also to deep. It'll show if he's more accurate throwing deep to the right or deep to the left. It'll actually too have that on like a physical chart. At the same time, it's just not my job to spoon feed everybody. I actually tried a couple times where I'd log into other people's podcasts and I go like verbatim giving the statistical data with the numbers. And then I had some people after the show say, Gammon, you're smart. We can tell that you're well researched. But when you're just reading off numbers, you're losing people in the audience. And then you sound like a robot, and then it becomes repetitive. And you know what I mean? Like, so they were really like, I had a lot of people bringing me off to the side. Some people who are regulars on Grant Cohn's show saying, hey, for the average person, for the average fan, this is kind of what you need to do. And then whenever sometimes I'd put links in there, they would get deleted because you never know where those links technically can go. So just out of professional courtesy and then improving my ability to talk coherently without drowning everybody else out, being boring, and then just spitting numbers. Because spitting numbers also too doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. It just means that you took someone else's math homework and then just regurgitated it, right? So because of that, I've had to and over the couple years that I've been trying to hop on other people's podcasts, I've had to really refine on how I present information. So I'm going to hop on another podcast, but I would just say, Kenny, the world is your oyster. If you have an absolute burning an itch for that information, a lot of this information is behind a paywall, right? You might have to spend a couple extra ducats, get that information that you glean for, because it is very annoying when you get into a heated argument with somebody and you want to validate what you feel, what you see, and you want to win the argument. But sometimes you got to pay to play, brother. Like that's just the way
that's fair
that it is. But I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you very much.
All right, man.
Hey,
Gammon.
all
with
right,
the Honolulu.
Bye.
With the Honolulu.
Okay, have a good night,
area
Gammon.
code. I thought you was calling me from Hawaii. I felt like it was,
I'm stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, Tennessee. But yeah,
But I
there it is.
gotta say this.
Clark's Vegas. We call it Clark's Vegas in Hoptown, Kentucky. I've been. I am a Kiowa warrior. Rockasan, young man, Rockasan.
Rockasans. There we go. Third brigade.
Melissa, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you like Andrew Thomas more than Trevor Lawrence because you're a Giants fan?
Oh my
No.
God.
No.
Okay.
No.
This guys.
I think it was Terradon.
But I will admit this.
Oh, hold on.
There is one Giant that I'm more excited to watch this year than certain Niners, and that is Brian Burns on the Giants.
Giants fan confirmed.
I really loved Brian Burns ever since he was a Panther. He was one of my favorite players to watch down there with Jeremy Chin. And I'm really beyond excited to watch Brian Burns every week here.
A little jealous.
I might be losing cable, but I got Nintendo and I get to watch Brian Burns week in and week out, and that is going to make watching the Giants bearable for me this year.
The Giants ain't, you went. Sponge, you had a question, man. Go ahead, give me your question.
I think it was Terradon who said it. That they should have a TV show, like a Netflix series called Trash. You know,
I was just joking. I was just joking, Sponge. It was a joke. It was a joke. They're not trash. They're some of the best receivers in the business, man. I was just
The worst is wide receivers in
nobody's
Philly.
trash. I don't like
Hold
football
on,
players
hold on,
trash.
hold on. I know it's a joke, but you know who would be the 2 stars of that trash show?
Here we go. Who
Oh,
would be
here we go.
the starters?
James Bradbury
Yeah.
and Brock Purdy.
Oh, get out of here.
He actually took the high road.
There it
No. Let's give it up for Spongy.
Hey,
I really thought he was going to bring up.
Guys,
Spongy normally brings up like a favorite player of people. He like brings up Juwan Jennings or Trey Greenlaw or whatever. The fact that you just brought up Brock Purdy though, I give you credit there, Spongy.
So okay. So if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl and he has that trophy real high and he gets the MVP, what are you gonna say after that? Oh, look at
He's
he
gonna
left.
cry.
Yeah,
He's gonna cry like
that's
a
why
little
he
girl.
left.
So Spongy, just like I told you yesterday, like Saquon is not going to have rushing yards because your quarterback is your running back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got y'all got Saquon now, Spongy. Y'all gonna ball off. Is that Dom on your?
Oh my gosh!
What of us?
You guys,
Dom on your.
Spongy, when you hear the Nets MVP for the Super Bowl,
big enough
Brock Purdy.
Right?
The biggest troll ever, Dom. Oh man.
Nah, even
Real
if we hire
cool.
Dom as our
Politically
lineman,
correct,
that would be
Sponge.
Big Dom is Dre Greenlaw's daddy.
Damn.
Oh, bully!
Oh yeah, is Big Dom on the top 100? No, right? Yeah.
No.
Seriously.
Wait a
Dre
second.
Greenlaw ain't either.
John Jay, you want
yes,
to
he is actually. And he moved up 3 spots. So nice try, Spongy. You are not here with that bullshit.
They did rob Devontae Smith though. They did rob Devontae Smith.
Son-in-law.
Spongy's the biggest 49er hitter. That's all right.
Did you just hear Ariel? She told you to be quiet.
Yeah, Tara.
Remote. Spongy, you knocked the camera over.
You just got told to be quiet by an 8-year-old.
Be quiet, SpongeBob.
She said you're SpongeBob.
She did.
I love your daughter so much.
Thank you.
She's not messing around, huh? She's serious, huh?
Hey, Sponge, you're down bad.
I love
Son-in-law, you watching the game or what?
He's down bad like Michael.
Which game?
Oh, don't tell. Don't.
Oh, this is a football channel. We can't say it.
Oh
no! Don't bring it up.
Hey,
the Dodgers, the Dodgers, and the Giants 1-1.
Yo, they put Kirk.
Hey, let's not talk about that game.
Hey,
Terry, you should be beating the crap out of us. We suck this
Dodgers and Giants, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers won last night, right?
They did, and the night before.
We won 5 in a row.
Terradome. Hey, Terry, you're my guy. I just don't like that that Laker thing behind you.
Oh, I love that Laker thing. I love that Lakers.
Nah, you should burn all your Lakers jerseys or something.
Oh, hell no. Me and Terradome. Where you get that at, Terradome?
No, it's okay.
I ordered it offline.
I'm going to say this.
Oh, okay. I love it. When
David's
you don't want it no more, you can send it to me.
I gotta get it embroidered because there should be another championship right there for the COVID season.
Yo, this dude EC wants
right.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. I got that one.
I ain't got no room. When you run out of room for the good stuff.
Anyway, go work.
They put Kirk Cousins higher than an Eagles player.
You come say hi?
Bro, that is
my dog saying hi. I have it on mute. Oh, I don't have it on mute.
Michael is not.
Spongy, what happened today?
Michael passed.
Michael's weird, dude.
Bro, I don't care what.
Bears content creator.
Okay, we swept the Dodgers, and that's all that matters.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, David. Let me bring up a picture real quick. Hold on, let me bring up this picture.
What?
You love this picture. Fuck you.
I know. Yeah. I don't know why you talking, guys. You're not even a baseball fan, so fuck
Well,
off.
everyone hates the Dodgers, so fuck them.
Yeah,
That's
Fuck
me.
Shohei. Fuck
Yep.
I
Shohei
agree.
Ohtani.
yeah,
He's gonna get caught anyways.
yeah. We'll see. When the time comes, when the time comes, I believe it. When the time not, I don't believe it.
What is Dookie Betts still injured?
I
Did you
don't
call
know.
him
You tell
I feel
me.
Dookie
bad
Betts?
for Lakers fans. I'm sorry, dude. You guys got hijacked by LeBron
Pterodome.
James.
Stop.
Yeah, baby.
We stole the player. We
I
got a guy from
wanted.
the
Oh,
Giants
speak of
shortstop.
LeBron James. Hold on. Speak of LeBron James. Look
John
at
Jay, what's
this.
his name?
Who?
We just picked up a guy from the Giants,
Bronny
shortstop.
James.
Well, what are we talking about?
You guys just
Hey,
took the lead.
I was
2-1.
gonna
Fact,
ask
bro.
Pterodome a question real quick.
Christian Walker owns the Dodgers. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, David. You said you guys picked somebody up.
Yeah, we picked the guy, shortstop.
All right, hold on. I'll
What?
tell you who it is.
You brought him up
Pterodome.
from minor leagues, or you traded for him?
Nah, the Giants cut him.
It was Nick Ahmed.
Yeah, that
Oh,
guy.
that guy
He sucked.
sucked anyway.
Yeah, that fool sucks.
Now, you were just talking good about him.
Pterodome.
What's up, baby?
No, I said we just got him. I didn't say
You
he
know how
did.
there's always like misinformation around these parts, especially around training camp. There's the people who are just pushing things to see if there's trades, or there's always the camp story where they blast someone and then they're trying to sneak them onto the practice squad, or they're propping somebody up trying to see if they can get something out of him.
Yeah.
You were one of the very few people I know who can cut through BS better than just about anybody, and you do not sugarcoat a damn thing. Not that you're not nice, but you don't believe in holding hands and just trying to pander to everybody. And so what I wanted to ask you is,
oh, go ahead.
if you hear anything about Tatum Bethune or D Winners, I was just hoping you could keep me up on those two guys, because you know how I feel about Dre Greenlaw, but I don't want him to rush back. But I am interested in seeing one of those two players maybe taking over his spot, because I don't think Burks is the real option. I know that they love putting in Burks.
He's not.
I really hate
Burks
DFF.
with the Eagles?
I think DFF is a real liability on special teams, and putting him at linebacker is just asking for trouble.
Danny Gray.
But you were one of those few people I really, truly trust to come at me unbiased, unvarnished, whether I want to hear it or not. So that's why here now I wanted to ask you about that, because I trust you implicitly.
I thought Oren Burks was with the
Well,
Eagles.
I thought Winters and Graham would make that step last year. They showed me a lot of good stuff. As linebackers, you want to react,
he really
and get in a
but
ride
you remember,
there violent. But
the only reason why Dre got it in his rookie year, remember, was because Quan missed so much time with his injury.
Yes,
Quan Alexander didn't go down injured.
Injury creates opportunities.
Dre Greenlaw would not have gotten that shot.
League. It does happen. You know, it's a 100% injury league. And when you get your opportunity, you got to go in there and show and prove and show or don't move. It's all you need is soul, self-esteem, and release. The rest is up to you. Rock Kimball said,
and Shanahan said the same thing in his presser, and I don't really take a lot of what he says to heart, because he even says it like 3 weeks later that I was bullshitting you. But
it's all about what Shanahan
when he talked about
nothing Shanahan says.
When he talked about Jair Brown and how special he was last year, and that he couldn't put him above Hufanga or Deshaun Gibson because they were both healthy at the beginning of the year, I really think that unless Shanahan absolutely has zero choice, he can't go trade or sign some dude off the couch, he's absolutely never going to go near the rookies or the second year guys unless he's absolutely forced to. That's what makes me so, I guess, concerned and worried about the secondaries and the linebackers, because I think we have a lot of young talent, which we have not had in a really long time. I want to see these guys get a shot, but with this whole new rule with the no hip drop tackles and all this other stuff that's going on now, and all these new things that are going to go against defenses, I need people who I can trust. So I deeply appreciate you, because I know you're one of those few people who I can go to and be like, just give me the skinny, and you'll give me the skinny.
I'm looking forward to winners and Graham. I've been looking forward for a year, and
you know what really sealed it for me though, Pterodome? You were one of the few people when it was remember when it was Aziz versus Dre, and everybody had their side, and they would like fight you if you said the name that they weren't for. And then remember when I was fighting for Diamador Lenore, and everybody was like making fun of me for loving the 5th round guy again? You were one of those few people who were like, just like, don't listen to them. See what you see. They're special. They'll get it, and they'll come out fighting, and they'll be just. You were one of those few people who kept me sane. So that was a huge part of it. But I am grateful for you. I'm so grateful you're here, because you were one of my favorite people to hang out with. Like, no joke.
Yeah,
like
you do
I
24
want to
hours.
go on.
You do
I want to
24
go on.
hours. You get to know some folks.
No, I was on that too.
Okay, this was way before the 24 hours thing. You know what this really started with me and Pterodome was the one time Mikey and just couldn't sleep. Remember? You and I were one of the few people who called in at like midnight when he started, and we stayed up to like 3, 4 in the morning with him that first time.
Right.
And
Shout
then,
out to Mike Andrews.
and then you kept coming in with me on these victory Sundays or victory Mondays or victory Thursdays when Mike does the shots and everything else. Just like, you can't help but light up with Pterodome. And the great thing about him is he's never too high. He gets high. Don't mess with it. Like, he'll celebrate. He'll call you out. He'll say he was right about people. But he never was like too high. Like he goes like color blinded, and he never like forgets what's real. But he never gets too low, and he keeps things steady, even. And that, I think, is the rarest thing with people who do content now. You know, they go for the flashy topics, they go for this topic, they go for that topic. And I had to have the hand to you, Pterodome. You've stayed yourself, whether it's the comments, your podcast, or wherever you go, and I love you for that.
I love you too, Melissa. As they said in Red October, forward right rudder, 180 degrees down bubble, steady as she goes.
Hey, Melissa, I want to say one thing real quick.
Okay, Spongy.
You said something about Oren Burks.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, he's going to be really good this year. Because you know what team he's on?
The Beagles.
Yeah, your little bird.
Oh,
they're the Beagles.
Yo, I want to be
We play duck hunt. Crack.
Right.
all the cheese steaks you can eat.
That's fine. Spongy, I have to tell you, you're in for a rude awakening with no Kelsey to ride on that tush push.
Bro, we have.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Right.
No, he's gonna say they have Cam Jurgensen, or I don't know if I'm saying that right.
We do.
Look at him hiding under his blanket.
We have Cam Jurgensen. Guess what? He was here last year. And he was here 2 years ago.
Wonderful.
He'll be fine.
Okay, and I'm not saying that you guys won't still do the tush push and it won't still be effective, but you have to admit, it's not going to be Jason Kelsey using his body, like planting himself in this like weird yoga thing where he's like literally keeping his belly inches off the ground, carrying your quarterback over his back and helping this play after play after play.
Okay,
Saquon's gonna be injured by week 7 anyways.
You also gotta understand that Jason Kelsey literally taught this kid everything.
Okay, you can teach somebody everything, but that doesn't make you the same athlete. That doesn't make you the same person. That doesn't give you the same heart or fight in your belly.
Let me finish my speech, and then you can comment on it.
Okay, little man.
Oh,
Well,
so
no, because you get mad whenever I interrupt you here. Okay.
the caterpillar's out of the cocoon.
What?
Yo,
So
gentlemen.
I
Hey, Carcass,
completely
how you doing
understand.
down there, man? What's going on?
Oh, what's
I
going on,
complete.
Pterodome? How you doing, man?
I
I'm
completely
all right. I'm all right.
understand that
Mm.
it's not going to be the same as last year, but it's not going to be an absolute full decline because and yes, Cam Jurgens has a lot of heart for this team.
Mm.
We know that by now. The whole offensive line does, or the O line that's been here. Okay, I don't know about the new guys. Okay, it's and of course they're gonna have heart. Kelsey had a lot of heart. Okay, I understand that, and how it's not gonna be the exact same, but it's not. It's not going from like a say Jason Kelsey was 100. It's not going all the way down to a 50. It's going more to like a 90
Okay,
or an 80.
and the only thing that I have to say about this, and this is not me taking a shot at the Eagles whatsoever, when Joe Staley retired, that was a huge loss for all of us. Now,
Yep.
we got Trent
But you
Williams and we
guys
got
didn't have
lucky,
you guys didn't
but
have anybody else on the offensive line, did you?
we actually did, and that's where I was going with this. We had just picked up somebody the year before Trent, 2 years before Joe retired. His name was Michael McGlinchey, and we all thought that because McGlinchey was Joe's underling, they trained together, they ate together, they mirrored each other, that the student would be okay without the guy who
They
mentored
married
him.
each other.
And we all thought that McGlinchey would be fine without Joe, right? We all thought that he would just pick it up, still be able to be a good tackle.
Make a
And then
difference.
as soon as Joe retired, as soon as Joe became a vegetarian and he got out of that dangerous thing that all these offensive linemen have to do, where they bulk up and eat excessive amounts of food to keep that girth on them. When he started thinning down and getting healthy, McGlinchey started doing the same thing. And without his friend on the team, McGlinchey wouldn't play as hard. And then when things got uglier, it got uglier. And when those things happen and you're a young player, those bad habits kind of cycle through even when things aren't as bad. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that your team's just going to completely fall apart without Jason Kelsey. But I'm saying to ever expect anybody to live up to a legend
Yep.
is ridiculous.
Okay,
And
hold on.
Jason Kelsey is a Eagles legend. Now, I'm not saying that the guy that's coming up next or the people around him won't prosper, but to expect nearly identical results or close to it is just setting yourself up for failure. So, yes, I might take shots at you, Spongy, and your team, but this is not one of them. I'm just
Okay,
telling
I
you.
have two things to say. Okay, I understand, with McGlinchey and all that, but I also I don't know if he got experience at any other position, and he started a few games next to Staley. Did he? Perhaps I don't know. Like back then, did he start any games next to Staley?
No, they anchored. So
Okay.
one would be right tackle, one would be left tackle.
Okay, so they would start next to each other. That's what
No,
I was asking.
they were on completely
They never
opposite ends.
they never played together in an NFL game.
Next to each other, no.
Okay. Or on the same offensive line at once.
Yes, they did.
Okay. So, for all we know, Cam Jurgens might be another version of that, but also, he was also an All-Pro reserve last year. I understand it's a reserve, but it was still something. He had a great year at right guard, and I understand that playing right guard and being a reserve isn't everything. But and you got to think about it. Almost everybody, I think, all but one guy on our offensive line, was an All-Pro or All-Pro reserve. And
Got a good
having that
offensive
next,
line.
having that next to a center, and maybe it's definitely not going to be Kelsey-esque, but maybe later in his career, he can have a similar impact. Not the same, a similar impact. And Jason Kelsey, and with Jason, he's technically still in the locker room every day. He's always working out there. He's always talking to the players. And Lane Johnson has confirmed this. He's always in there before the players. He's always in there like 7 a.m. in the morning, working out and, helping mentor guys when he can. So he's not official, he's not gone.
But he will be gone, is my point. Because Jason has the new job on Monday Night Football, so he might not be
understand that.
going to every actual stadium, but he will be covering those.
Oh my!
That's not what I said. You didn't understand.
Well, what are you saying?
I did understand you. I'm saying though, just because he's there now doesn't mean that he's going to continue to be there this year and in the future.
I never said he was going to continue
Just let
to
him
be
talk.
there.
Damn.
That's the problem. You guys keep interrupting me.
Interrupting.
But and we have other mentors on our offensive line who can help out, and a lot of them have been next to Kelsey for most of their careers. So, and I'm hoping from the past maybe 3 years, if you count the draft process, hopefully he learned a couple things from Kelsey. Of course, he's not going to be Kelsey. Nobody's going to be Kelsey. Okay? But somebody who can help impact the team in a similar way that Kelsey did. And that's just to be a good, a great center. Well, Kelsey was a great center. The only thing I'm expecting from Juergens is to be a good center, maybe another All-Pro reserve. Okay. And with the offensive line isn't completely depleted like other people are saying. I'm not saying you guys, but other people are saying that the whole offensive line is going to suck now because Kelsey's not there. That's
Yes,
absolutely
Kenny.
not true.
Mylota is nice. Mylota is nice.
Mylota is nice. You got Lane Johnson and Mylota not next to each other, but at both tackle positions. And then you got
it better than us, but that's not saying much.
We got Landon Dickerson there, and we're gonna have for right guard it's a battle between Mekhi Becton, who's a massive human being, and Tyler Steen, who we drafted 2 years ago. And supposedly Steen's playing really well. He's playing really well in the OTAs, and he's continuing that in training camp. But
okay, so the only thing I have to push back on though is Spongy is I don't have a lot of faith in Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's going to be all that you hope he's going to be. But I hope that you don't expect much out of Mekhi Becton because Mekhi Becton has not been healthy his entire career.
I don't expect anything out of Mekhi Becton because we have other guys. So he's not my main concern. And I don't know if you guys saw it. This isn't massive news. But he threw up 10 times on the sideline today. In the first day of training camp. He's not in good shape. And the weather combined, it's not, I don't even know if he's going to have a roster spot.
It's the East Coast in July.
Exactly.
The humidity is really scary.
It is bad.
You don't think it's that hot and that humidity will cut right through you.
It is very hot. Trust me. I go to summer camp every day. It's painful.
So, he's at summer camp.
So Spongy,
like on meatballs.
So Spongy, I want to say this. I'm not saying your offensive line is horrible, but to expect what the offensive line did in the past is not what you should expect. I think that's probably what most people are saying.
What I'm saying.
No, they're
That's
not saying
fair.
that. They're saying that
That's
it's
a
going to
fair
be.
You got a great coach though. Jeff Stutland is
Exactly.
he's probably the best in the
Stoutland-
business right now. I like
you
Jeff
gotta think about
Stutland.
it.
I really
But
do.
Stoutland is good. Is a great, great offensive line coach. That's why half of these offensive linemen who weren't anything coming out of the draft had
okay.
become something. I think.
Okay. Can I say one thing?
Okay.
An offensive line is based on main priority is based off of what? Timing. Okay, so when you break up the band, it's going to take a while before the band can come back together and be in sync in timing. Terradome knows this. Tommy knows this. I know this because some members of our favorite bands left to go to other bands, and then their music was altered.
But the
David Lee
problem
Roth
is
left Van Halen and got Sammy
Oh.
Hagar. Their music
the
was
problem is with that
altered.
Van
comparison.
Halen was bad back in the day.
The problem with that comparison.
Yeah.
All these
Van
players
Halen
have
was
all been.
bad, man.
All these players have all
That
been on
Hopper
the same
teacher
team
video.
at once. All of them have been on the same offensive line almost the whole time. There's only really one change, and it's not even the center position. It's going to be the right guard position. Because we're technically going to have a center that has been with these guys and has been on the starting offensive line with them. It's going to be a little shaky the first few weeks. But hopefully they can practice and they can, do what they need to do. And hopefully maybe after 2-3 weeks, it'll be fine.
You can hear it in his voice.
Right.
He's so
It's for all 32 teams. It's always wait and see because we don't know what's going to happen during it.
And with Saquon Barkley, I know Melissa mentioned it earlier. I have him going for at least 800 yards. I hope that's not a massive expectation because
About 50 yards a game.
Right.
He's not gonna get 1,000.
So
what is he gonna get?
I'm gonna
Whole
say
hamstring?
800 to 900.
No.
900 is pushing.
Sorry, Sledgy. I'm sorry. You can disagree with all
800.
you, but I've seen this when running backs go to other teams for whatever the reason they flop. I don't know why.
But you gotta. Okay, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
You gotta understand this. Here's the thing. Nobody understands this because
What happened to Ricky Waters when he left us?
Right, we're a lot older than you.
I know that. I know that. But y'all don't understand. Okay, I'll say it. I'm going to say this if y'all can, just let me say this. So Saquon.
Here comes a nugget.
Never.
I know.
He's never had an offensive line like this. Okay, the Giants had nothing like this. And you can say the offensive line is the main reason why he's getting hurt because he's not getting the right holes to run through. Their offensive line just sucks, and you guys all know that, especially you, Melissa. You know that the Giants line sucks.
But Spongy, Tommy has a good point. Dallas owns Saquon, and you know what that means? It means Micah Parsons owns Saquon. You know what that means? It means a podcaster is tougher than your running back.
Oh,
dang! I heard that.
I don't care about that at the moment. Hold on, I don't care about that at the moment. That's the thing.
Saquon is actually on a good team now. He's a top 3 running back. You would go.
And hopefully,
I guess you're going CMC, Derrick Henry, then Saquon.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Also,
what about Jonathan Taylor?
I would put Isaiah Pacheco maybe above him. But
in a minute, we'll tell him really.
You gotta,
You think Pacheco better than Saquon?
We have to see how this year goes. If not, Pacheco's at like 4.
Okay,
But
Spongy,
you also
I'm not.
You guys have a good night.
It's gonna get on out of here.
All right,
folks.
Big Dave.
All right.
See y'all
Bye,
tomorrow.
Corona.
Yeah.
I'm on the 10 on Terra.
We love you, Corona.
All right, buddy.
See you, Corona.
likewise.
Fuck the Dodgers, by the way. See you.
Yeah.
I'll call you. I'll call you, buddy, to make sure you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
okay,
All right.
but
For those who don't know, he's gonna have surgery next week, so I will be checking in to see how he's doing.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right.
Okay. We need to be covering down on
out of
each other.
here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
you gotta understand this. Yeah, exactly. Saquon,
I think Sentinel left too.
I think he's gonna. He will get hurt at
Hey,
one point
Sentinel.
this year. Is it gonna be a serious injury? Maybe, maybe not. I'm saying maybe not, because you can say another reason why he always gets hurt is because he was the number one option on that team for all those years. He was the number one option on that offense. Okay, he was the star of that.
What about Danny Dimes?
Danny Dimes can't do anything. He can't run. He's not gonna run.
I hate to break this to you, to Terradome, but Danny Dimes has barely played in like 17 games in the last 3 years.
Exactly. But
Yeah, I was being
also-
facetious. Allow me to introduce my cousin. Facetious.
but he's never had this many weapons
All right.
on an offense with him.
You know I don't like Saquon, Spongy. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to trash him right now. All I'm saying is, yes, it might be different because he has a better O-line. But
It's
you
not
also
just
have
that.
to...
I was gonna say what I was gonna say, but I'll wait.
You also have to remember that your quarterback is coming off a serious injury.
Yep.
A finger injury?
A serious injury.
It was a serious injury, okay? And at the end of the last year, as soon as you guys started getting mollywopped after you lost to the Niners, he started playing really scared. He wasn't taking off and running the same way. He wasn't throwing the same way. He didn't feel comfortable behind your offensive line. Those are big deals.
Yes,
but these guys hold on to the stuff, Spongy. If you don't trust the people who are blocking for you, that's gonna get in your head.
Trust the people who are blocking for him.
Okay, and as for
Damn, Fred.
Whoa.
He didn't trust his offensive coordinator.
Okay, and then on top of that, Saquon has always been a sensational dual threat running back. So he's really good at those short yardage things where he gets these little tiny tosses 10 yards behind this line of scrimmage and then just taking off when the blocking was perfect. What his issue is that he doesn't block. He doesn't make those hard decisions where he goes and just cuts through a small lane and just takes off. He likes to tap dance behind the line a lot. And I'm just saying, it's not that I don't think he's capable of owning Pennsylvania and doing well in front of his home crowd because he went to Penn State. But I'm just saying, keep it in perspective. You always call out my favorite players like Jamon Jennings or Drake Greenlaw or whoever.
Not the star of that offense, Melissa.
But he actually has to be, Spongy, because you're not going to be running your quarterback as much this year because you can't.
No, I'm saying Juwan
Where's
Jennings is
Jalen
not the star of
Hurts?
the offense. I was talking about Juwan Jennings, not Saquon. So if you would let me talk. Not interrupt me.
Okay, but hey, you guys.
Finish what I said.
I'm muting.
What you got, Miss Dawn? Dawn, it's your
Yeah,
turn.
I gotta get going to get the little one to bed. There's a fire out this way.
Whoa.
So I gotta. It's a massive fire right now.
Wow.
Oh, one
Hey,
of
be
those
safe,
brush
be
fires.
Safe.
You, Jayla, Ariel, all of you, just do whatever you have to do to be careful and safe. And we love
I
you,
will.
and we will keep you in our thoughts and prayers.
It's not close to us right now, but it's growing. It's over 15,000 acres right now.
Oh, wow.
With only 3%
Careful,
containment.
Miss Dawn. Be careful. You the princess of paradise.
You take care of your family, and we will keep you in our prayers.
All right, I'll keep you guys updated.
All right.
All right. All right.
All right.
Miss Dawn, God bless you.
Be safe, Don.
Yeah, all right.
Good night.
Bye.
Fuck the Rams,
Never
bro.
see it on. Okay.
Fuck the Rams. Yeah, fuck the
So
Rams.
what I was saying before I got interrupted,
Oh, Lord.
AJ Brown is
which I don't know why it always happens, but
Yeah, I have no idea, Sponge.
I know, Spice. Don't get too serious. You know, it's all.
okay, hold on.
We're having fun here.
Getting interrupted again.
I'm trying to help you, man, because
I know what you're gonna say. I'm just trying to get my point across right now.
What's he gonna say?
Go ahead.
All right, because the more and more people keep talking, I'm not gonna remember what I have to say. Okay, so Saquon Barkley has always been the star. Okay, now he has Devontae Smith on his offense. Okay.
Okay.
He has AJ Brown.
A.J. Brown.
He has that offensive line. He has Jalen Hurts. He has Dallas Goedert. All them. Okay. And the team actually has a good defense for once. That doesn't matter. But
Yeah, debatable.
you know, he was always the guy that would always get the ball for the Giants when they needed something. Now he's not gonna be that, and I understand he got all those carries with the Giants. He got it. You know, what was it? What? Somebody said 50 carries. I don't know, but you know, he's not gonna get the ball as much this year. He's not gonna get as many yards. So hopefully he doesn't get us hurt that much. Because if he's not going to get the ball that much, he shouldn't have to be in situations where he gets hurt, which is, you know, on certain runs.
Okay.
You know.
Fair. What you got, Big Dave?
I understand he has a
Okay, we got some more spongy.
Yeah, sorry. I understand he has a thing for getting hurt, but hopefully he's on a team now that he actually wants to play for, and hopefully that also helps with it. Because you know dang well he did not want to play for them nasty Giants on that nasty field in New Jersey.
It is a rough field. A lot of people get injured up there. We went through a tumultuous 2020 playing up there at MetLife.
I understand
what were we looking at for?
But I think it helped.
For camp here, Dave, what do you want to see? Some players there, some players not. What are you looking forward to, or not looking forward to, David McNabb?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to the offensive line battle and the wide receiver. Those are the two that I'm really keeping an eye on. You know, another thing to keep an eye on: who's going to be playing nickel or starting outside with Lenore nickel, right? This is all yet to be determined. But, yeah, I mean, the O-line is something I'm very interested in because of the fact that, you know, we did draft Pooney. No, he's not a high draft pick, but typically we draft ahead of time to replace players. So, you know,
he's going to be good.
Play tackle or guard, right?
Yeah.
Then we got we actually have Hubbard who can play both tackle side, both ties.
I saw Hubbard was penciled in as our second behind McGlinchey. At least that's how ESPN has it right now. It's a plethora of others who have the depth chart a little, you know, pick and choosing. So I don't remember Hubbard playing too much. So yeah, I do want to see him get down. Yeah.
And, you know, we got that guy Parker from the Raiders, and he actually did start a couple seasons. But he had a couple seasons of injury, too. So that's I don't know what. You know, maybe the Niners are signing veterans to inspire competition between guys, and that's something that would make everyone better.
I think so.
But, you know, at this point, it's like, what's going on with Brendel? You know, is he in camp?
I'm hearing, well, I check out Larry Krueger, and Larry Krueger is big on Nugent, the undrafted guy. He's saying Nugent's got these heavy hands, and when he delivers his blows, he's decleating defensive players. How he saw that without them being in pads, I don't know, but he's big on them, so I'm interested to see if this is gonna come to fruition. But we got to just wait and see. But Brendel's okay, Brindle's decent, but
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
we,
shocked
we
that
had some we
Nugent.
had some good people. Hold on 1 minute, Sponge.
Yep. Go ahead.
We had some opportunities there, man. The kid up in Oregon, uh, we just had some opportunities in that draft to even with the selection that we had at 32nd. I think we traded out 33rd, somewhere around there. We had some opportunities to get some really good people, and I- I'm I'm hoping these guys will. It's not the way I would have ran it. Me and you, Dave, we talk on uh, a virtual ad nauseum about selection for this offensive line and making it a stalwart and a point of domination. And I'm right with you. So we're gonna be looking at that offensive line. Secondary wise, new coach, new regime, and he's got a boss. Our new DC has I guess someone's just gonna walk around and check papers or something. Whatever, however
You
they
know, I
handle it.
no, that's an interesting story right there.
Yeah.
Because is Staley the assistant to the DC, or is Sorensen the assistant to the Staley? You know, it's kind of one of those.
Officially, they got Staley as defensive coordinator and Sorensen as like quality control guru or
What?
some. I got to check this dynamic out. I don't know how it seems like we hired two guys to replace one. We got to see how this goes. We want an inside man and an outside man. And,
Okay,
we'll
so
check it
Paradome,
out.
I'm calling it right now. People are gonna be crying for Steve Wilkes in a few weeks.
Woo!
As soon as
Hot
one
take.
bad game happens,
Hot take.
come on, Terradome. You know how the Niners fans are. As soon as one bad game happens, one bad streak happens, one bad series happens against like a Chiefs or someone big, they're gonna say, "Oh, so much better the year before." Forgetting every BS, nasty, cruel, like threatening thing they ever said about the guy before. That's how it is.
This is the showtime at the Apollo of fan bases. Yes.
Think about it.
We call on the Sandman.
We all hated on Salah. We all had our Salah issues. And then as soon as Salah went to the Jets, it was just like, how could we let him go? He was so great. Look at what he was to this defense. They called out D'Amico Ryans for struggling against the Eagles and letting that big touchdown happen. Like, this fan base is brutal on defense. And for so long that this team has depended on defenses to ride to the Super Bowl, and they've gotten mad at the last three for losing them and blamed the defense because they couldn't hold on for dear life anymore. And it's just like, what do you expect? They're doing it all season long, all throughout the playoffs. Then before break, like they're gonna break sooner or later. And I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for the young talent. You know how I feel about Diamador Lenore and Jair Brown and all these guys, but same time, I don't trust Brandon Staley. Like, look at what happened to the Chargers. On paper, they should never have been that bad.
Yeah. And they're very similar to our makeup.
And you know what the sad part was? What was it, Terradome? They were up, 27-0 or something at halftime because Trevor Lawrence had those 5 turnovers, the 3 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. And then they came back and won that game because Staley could not hold it together. And that really worries me when it comes to this team this year. Y'all called out Steve Wilkes. You wanted to blame everything on Steve Wilkes and the box and him not gelling with Fred and Nick and everybody else, but now we don't know who the hell is calling it. and what are you going to do? Take a shot at Kyle? Like, I mean, we really don't know.
It is ABK. Anybody but Kyle.
Yeah, and it came out. I don't know if you guys heard
ABK.
it. It came out that the person calling the offensive plays last year for the Eagles was none only than Nick Sirianni.
Anybody but Kyle.
So
But
no,
if I'm gonna be honest,
I was
I'm
actually
shocked.
wanting Belichick at DC too at one point.
Oh my
I
God.
realized
That would have been.
Then I realized, like,
Yeah.
ego wise, I don't think him and Kyle could fit in, Levi's.
Well, Kyle went to him. Kyle, they say Kyle actually went to Bill Belichick. Hey man, you want to come and help me? And Bill turned it down. Bill
Bill did not want to go and fly back to DC. Not after everything that happened there. Not when he's at the Tom Brady roast and he's being roasted by Edelman and everybody else about how he never did his job, and they're all chuckling at his stupid mantra and everything else. Like, I don't care what you offered him. Bill Belichick was not going to fly back to DC this year.
Yeah,
Actually,
he used to drive in the car.
I actually wanted the guy Cleveland has, Jim Schwartz.
Oh, Schwartz is great, man. But
and
now that's who can't get along with Kyle probably. He's not going to Jim. Which Schwartz is still mad at when Jim Harbaugh tapped him on the butt back in the day in Detroit. So there was some extra little down there giving him the business on that. Schwartz still hot about that, man. They always run it every time we play them. They're gonna run that Harbaugh. And
I don't think he ever should have lost his job as the head coach of the Lions, to be honest with you.
That's my guy, man. When you're trying to chase that 6th title, get a guy who's already got 6.
Hey, Spongy, wasn't Schwartz your DC when you guys went to the Super Bowl? I don't remember. Was it 17 or 19 or 21 or whatever? But
when they beat Tom Brady,
that 1 year, I think that Schwartz was their DC when they had like the phenomenal defense where they were like shutting down everybody.
Could have been.
That was Jonathan Gannon in 21.
So it's earlier than.
So who is?
Anyway,
he's good. He knows his stuff.
But
he knows his stuff.
The thing is I think he's 9-1 against Kyle.
Oh, he owns him like that. He's the.
So that's why it's if you can't beat him, hire him. Type
yeah.
Was my concept.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. So at least pick his brain and see, hey man, what did you see against me? What how did you know? What am I doing wrong?
If I'm gonna be
gotta
honest,
be
I was
something.
shocked. I was shocked that Drake Nugent fell to undrafted. He was always a top, like at least top 5 rounds. He was always, a guy I would pick in, the top 5 rounds.
I maybe it's just me, but if anyone's from about 5th round down, they're usually my favorite people. Tara, don't get to attest to that.
Oh,
I like some underdogs. I love some underdogs. There's just something
production
truly special about someone who was never given a damn ounce of credit. No one believed in them. No one liked their measurables or their talent, or they got stuck on one bad pro day or one bad combine drill and just for whatever reason they just fall through the cracks, or they weren't part of the groups that go on runs. You remember when they start picking off every receiver or every tackle because they start freaking out?
Yep.
And I think the most
that's when
fun people to root for are those gems. And every year, it's like I'm so upset here. Don't we have a 5th round draft pick this year? I was looking forward to that so much.
We traded the 5th away, right? To go up and get the new running back too. Hey, that's another one, Dave. This running back we traded up to get. Usually Kyle messes up and get a 3rd round running back, but he pulled the flim flam.
I don't think he can live through that again. I really think after
he went to the 4th round and moved up and used the 5th round pick to get this guy. So we'll see how that pans out.
Now Garindo isn't just a running back; he returned kicks.
We're gonna see.
And
I hope so.
Rules, you need 2 guys back there, right?
Yeah. Who you think? Garindo and Debo, maybe?
Garindo.
You know what I really love to see back there?
the two speedsters back there, because if they break through that line and they're
It's 88
gone,
out to get. Yeah.
deal with is the kicker, because he's not allowed to go past the 50. Right?
Tyrone, do you think that Bell stays on this roster just to be on special teams?
I like Bill.
Because I remember I
out.
I know a lot of people give him crap for that one game where he tripped and he got that big flag, and then you never really saw Ronnie Bell after that, like maybe sporadically,
If
but
I'm
not
gonna be honest,
not like out there after that one bad flag. But do you remember his tackling versus the Giants where he just like popped the dude?
Bill,
Like there's just something special when a receiver they don't just block, but they like give their whole body to it. Like they channel the defense. They're like, you're not gonna out physical me. I'm gonna out physical you. And just I really hope that you get someone like Ronnie Bell on special teams.
He's not going to pass waivers. I'd say that. He can play in this National Football League. I think that young man he's got something there. I like Bell. I like Bell.
speak of late round guys, you know, one of the guys that I like on the Eagles, and this year is going to be his breakout year. It's been, you know, confirmed. Well, not really confirmed, but he's been putting in the work, so hopefully it's his year. But Keely Ringo, a corner that we drafted, I think it was the 5th, 2 years ago. I was vowing for us to draft him in like the 2nd and 3rd round. And when he fell to the 5th, I was sleeping, and then my brother woke me up. He said, "We got Ringo." I said, "Just wait a few years, and then that's going to be one of our best corners." But if you're not,
so in a couple minutes, I got to shut it down because I got to work early, folks.
Understand? Yeah.
We love you, David.
My wife gave me the warning order. She's got to get up too, and
get out, you know,
I'm making fun. I see.
We love you, David.
Something from Sentinel. He says, I mean, if Brady didn't have those defenses that Belichick crafted, does he have 6 rings? Absolutely not. Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady.
Tom Brady wouldn't even have the 6 rings if it wasn't for Adam Vinatieri saving his sorry ass in those first Super Bowls.
You got to have those. You got to have the defense. You got to have the defense. Tom Brady.
You have to have that kicker. Think about it. Vinatieri had those games.
This is a
and his
and you need
what
luck.
was it? His last Patriots Super Bowl, he didn't even score. It was Edelman to Gronk that had that touchdown in the last one against the Rams.
You need it all. You need it all to win. You need it all to win.
And
you can be.
The crazy part is people keep saying if Brady came here in 2020, we would have won the Super Bowl that year. Nobody stayed healthy on this team. Do you really want to be the team that killed Tom Brady and broke him in half? Like, that's what would have happened. Tom Brady coming here with Gronkowski wouldn't have kept the defense healthy, wouldn't have kept the offense healthy. And could you imagine Tom Brady being like Aaron Rodgers and tearing his ACL at MetLife with those back-to-back games? Just because he would have come here doesn't mean he would have won the Super Bowl.
Absolute GOAT for Super Bowl. He is my guy. Somebody put up those 12 records regular season, 12 records postseason, 11 records Super Bowl, 89,214 yards, 667 touchdowns, born August 3rd, 1977, San Mateo, California. Tom Brady is it for me. He is the guy. It is undeniable, undisputed, unabated, undebated. That is my dude.
Okay, so Teardome, I gotta ask you this though.
Got his book right there behind
me. I gotta ask you a question though.
Go ahead.
You know how hard it's been for anyone to win a Super Bowl or even appear in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
You were a longtime fan and you love players who never even sniffed one.
Yes.
So as a Tom Brady fan, what did you think of when he said that he would give up 3 or more of his rings just to have that perfect season? Because if I'm his teammates who won those bowls with him,
if Tom,
I would be beyond pissed off that you would go just all my hard work and what I accomplished. just so you can have your perfect season.
Here it is, Melissa. The only one that can say the statement
I know it's him.
is Tom Brady. So I have to respect what the man done laid down. Pick 199. Everybody else left you for dead. What's that? 6 times they went around. 6 times.
Yeah, but Pterodome, you gotta admit that guy was not ready.
6 times they gave up. They gave Spurgeon win. They gave Chad Pennington. They gave Heath. They gave all of those Brady 6, Bulger, and all those people, and they all left on the carpet. Tom Brady came in there ready to go, prepared, eerily similar to somebody else I know. That is all I can ask. All you ask, give me a chance, and I'm going to show and prove and get this thing done. If Brock Purdy goes on to have the same career as Tom Brady did, what are we saying? And they were closer to draft choices than anybody else. Not those first round guys that you take the shot on and don't pair out. But these guys come in prepared. They came in accurate. They came in ready to go, and all they asked, just give me a shot. And that hits me to my heart. I am a Tom Brady fanatic. I am number 1 on the Tom Brady fandom tour. You can plant it right here in the middle of my chest. I'm all about Tom Brady, and this been before. I was seeing this in 2007. I've been arguing about this with any and everybody, my uncles and people at church and everybody else. They say it's the system. It's the system. No, man, I see a dog in Tom Brady. I see his spirit. That dude is something different. Don't get fooled on the little shucks white boy. Oh man, we're just gonna do our best. We'll see. No, inside there lies a competitor. Let me tell you, it lies a competitor and a 9-foot cyclops that will knock his mama over to win the game. I seen the same thing in him, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods. I saw it early.
Pterodome, all you gotta do is bring up his father's quote. The only way you're gonna get my son off this field is by putting him in a straitjacket and leading him off the field against his will.
That's all I ask. That would be the same way I would approach it.
Yep.
I'm all about TB Will.
Yeah, we got to get on out of here, folks.
Yeah, I have to go, guys. I have a job at 8 a.m. in the morning, so I got to go.
Yeah,
man. Good luck on that, man. Good luck on that.
Good night.
Good luck.
So, there goes John Jay. So, y'all, everyone, have a good night. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me. Good to see you, Melissa, Cardcast, Spongy. Holla at y'all in the chats.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Everyone have a good night. And it's as Corey Davis to say, go 49ers.